Well, hello, everybody, and we are
Hello.
back with another awesome episode of Lunches with Punches. I am the ailing Druyari, and with me here, as always, is
Mr. Joe Punches. How everybody doing today?
hopefully in a lot better health than I am. But
Yeah.
it's that springtime, people. Oh, I got bit by that springtime bug, and it's not letting go. I hate it. As you can tell by my sexy ass voice, all state. That's about it. But yeah, we're here. We haven't been here in 2 weeks, which is usually what we do. But
Yep.
we're here to talk about some things. We're here to talk
Yep.
about a finale that happened last night in
Yes.
Hell's Kitchen, and also some other shit that has
Yes.
been going on in the past few weeks. But yeah, Joe, how are you, man?
Oh man. Adulting, busy. You know how it goes. Hopefully you get to feeling better. Like I said, I know that springtime cold is it's a linger. It likes to linger. So
Yeah,
hopefully you'll get over it soon.
yeah, I very rarely get sick, but when I get sick, it holds on. It doesn't want to let me go, almost like a Kurt Angle ankle lock. It will
I was
not
gonna
let
say
me
a
go.
horrible ex, but that's a different story.
Tomato, tomato. Um, but let's we're done with the pleasantries.
Yes.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it.
Dive.
We're gonna talk about the finale last night of Daredevil Born Again season dose.
Deuce.
8 episodes already in the can. Wrapped up pretty nicely last night. I thought I thought it was a very good finale. Kind of like last year where it ended on a cliffhanger.
Right.
Maybe not so much a cliffhanger, but more of just like I think it wrapped up the events of last season and also in some ways the original Netflix show.
Yep.
Um, and we'll just jump right into it. So the season ends with these citizens of Hell's Kitchen, Manhattan, New York, whatever you want to call them,
Rising up.
rising up against a certain political figure at a courthouse, which is totally not like in real life at all. Um, and Daredevil inspires people. A lot of this episode, I thought had a lot I thought was missing from the new Born Again series, which is more courthouse scenes.
Oh yeah, it
Like
was. Yeah,
like I am a junkie and a horror for court legal dramas. I'm a criminal justice major. And Daredevil, Matt Murdock, he's supposed to be a lawyer, a damn good lawyer. So the last episode, he came out of hiding and acted as Karen Page's co-counsel, and then came back in this episode after he got shot in the leg.
right.
Uh, and a big chunk of this episode was him cross-examining Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, which that's really what made this episode because you weren't sure where it was going to go, and then a certain brass-bodied individual from Harlem kind of spoiled how the
Yeah,
season was going
yeah,
to end.
yeah.
So you kind of
A little
figured
bit.
how it was going to go, but you wanted to see how we were going to get there. And I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was awesome. I love the back and forth dynamic between Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio. Um, it almost feels like Charlie Cox doesn't get enough credit for being as good as he is as Daredevil and Matt Murdock.
I agree.
And Vincent D'Onofrio, I think he's a great villain. I think he's great as Kingpin. He almost adds this like Greek tragedy to him.
Yeah,
Every interpretation of Kingpin, mostly in animation, always painted him as just this like low level thug, this big hulking motherfucker who could just like run across, the city like he was a gazelle. Um, I remember in was it Into the Spider Verse? It was Liev Schreiber who I guess
yep.
tried to play him like he was Trump almost. um, and this show, like, what made Kingpin such an interesting character was that he had a lot of layers to him. He's almost like a petulant child, kind of like Homelander in a way.
A little bit. Yeah,
He has this petulance to him that you understand you probably understand Kingpin's grief more than Homelander because Homelander's just a fucking psycho. Like he's a
yeah.
needy, man baby. But Kingpin, you get it. but it's still one of those things of just like, I get it, but you still need to be put down. Eventually you're going to need to get put down. So love the dynamic. I also kind of chuckled at one scene, and it's just my useless, mind of like Simpsons facts. It was the scene where Daredevil's in the chambers, and then Kingpin goes, "Daredevil, I know you can hear me."
Yeah.
I start to think of when Homer's in the courtroom with Bart, and he goes, "Boy, I know you could read my thoughts." Yum, 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 yum.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could not think of that. I'm an idiot. But you can kind of see where it was going when Matt was like, there wasn't just that guy on that boat, it was another guy. And then Karen's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
And then that's when Matt says, "I'm Daredevil," which is funny because I think we might talk about it in a bit, but over the weekend on the 2nd of May is the 18-year birthday of Iron Man.
Oh, yep, I did see that post, yes.
And then the way that movie ended was, Tony Stark very famously saying, "I am Iron Man."
Yep.
So it's kind of similar to that. Matt saying, "I'm Iron Man." Or no, I'm not Iron Man. He's Daredevil. Matt Murdock is Daredevil.
That would be so funny if he said, "I'm Iron Man." They're like, "What?"
But Tony's dead. No, it's me. And then there's that lawyer's like, "Are we supposed to expect a blind lawyer to be Daredevil?" And then he just takes his thing and just hurls it across the room and catches it. I'm like, oh, like it would have been funny if you said that proves nothing. So, but I've kind of rambled enough about that portion of the episode. What did you think about the courtroom drama leading up to the big reveal?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I loved the back and forth between Matt and Fisk. I thought it was great. And then Fisk at that one point going, "Dude, what are you doing? You're not going to do what you're going to do, right?" As he was like, "You're a fool." and thing is the previous episode, which I know we really didn't get to talk about, but when he said something about, and I think it was to Karen, where he was just like, "There's going to be cameras there." And so I was like, are we going to go down this route? Which, for anybody watching, if we may have spoiled anything for you, if you haven't seen Daredevil yet, we apologize. But yes, spoilers.
Keep talking. Let me put up a banner that says spoilers. Hold on.
But the previous episode, I kind of felt like, and my first thought was, is this going to be an Iron Man moment? Where I was like, okay, is he going to sacrifice his secret identity for the greater good? So yeah, and just like you, that's one thing, and I've loved the Daredevil series from season 1 on Netflix up to now. But that's one thing that, of course, with the storyline, we can see why they've gotten away from the courtroom scenes because, of what Murdock's been going through and Fisk basically taking over the city. But yeah, I would love more courtroom scenes. I don't know how that's going to play out in season 3. Yeah, I mean, I love the back and forth. I love the, there was another person on that boat. We saw it in the video. He said Daredevil was there. And so he just kind of luring Fisk into that, like, are you going to admit what you did wrong, or am I going to have to cross this line that there's no going back from? And we saw how that played through. So, yeah, I loved it. Go ahead.
Right. I was kind of expecting them to pull a I guess a twist where it's like they bring in somebody else to be dressed as Daredevil and it ends up being like Poindexter, where he's like, one good deed, which he's great, by the way. And I forgot to talk about his arc where they were gonna try and assassinate Matt by using a fake Bullseye, because at first I'm like, okay, that's Bullseye, but why are these? I keep wanting to call them ICE agents, but it's task force. But whatever, fuck it, they're ICE agents. Fucking bullies. And they're surrounding Bullseye. I'm like, are these like the task force agents that are on the Daredevil side? And then when they start getting killed off one by one, I'm like, oh, it's a ruse. And then Bullseye comes in, just kills everybody, and then he just goes, poser.
Right.
And then there's that part after everyone leaves the courthouse where, that douchebag, ICE agents is like, Matt Murdock's out here, take the shot. And you just hear, sorry, bud, wrong bullseye. And then, and I was just like, that was great. That was a good setup. And then the rest of the episode just really goes from 50 to 50,000.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna call it.
Rise up.
You see on one side, Daredevil and Jessica Jones and everybody else, and then you see Kingpin still stuck, in the courthouse where he's like, I'm not doing shit. And even I guess his co-counsel, she's like, the attorney general called me. Here's his offer. Step down and leave New York. That's his best offer. That's the best offer you're gonna get.
Prison or exile.
Exactly. And Kingpin's like, no, fuck that, I'm not leaving. All the while Buck is bleeding out, and then you see Heather kind of going on her, descent into madness, which I'm kind of glad they didn't push it in this season. I'm glad they set up, little breadcrumbs, and we're going to see that in season 3.
Slow burn.
Which I like that, by the way, because at first with the therapist, I was like, where's this going? And then when they started showing me where it was going, I'm like, oh, that's where it's going. Okay. And then you see on the other side with the citizens of New York, you see Cherry and Hector Ayala's niece, the new White Tiger.
Yeah.
They're getting in front of the task force agents, and was it Cole? Not Cole. Well, okay, there's the black guy. There's Cole North. Oh, Powell. There you go.
Powell. Yes.
Where he's like, kill them, and then Cole's like, but he's one of us. No, he's not one of us. He's one of them. And then that's when, the girl, she's like, they killed Hector Ayala after y'all claimed he killed a cop, which he didn't. And then that's when Cole has that realization of you told me he was killed. And he's like, I'm giving you a fucking order, kill them. And then that's when Cole North just, does a babyface turn.
Right.
Smacks the shit out of Powell with that gun, which I'm like, so he's on the good side. Which I think that character's in the comics, Officer Cole.
Oh. Nice.
Which it's like, all right, that's cool. I would have liked for that Powell guy to die, because I don't know, I'm like,
well, let's see what season 3 brings, because they're all going to be together. They made sure to set that point up when you get towards those end scenes and you see Murdock walking past that gang of prisoners, and Cole's just like, yep, we'll be seeing all each other real soon.
He's like, I don't fuck with Powell anymore. But it's like, Bullseye, you want one good deed, get that guy. Just get. I'm sure he's a nice guy in real life. I'm sure he's a very polite, kind-hearted man. But he has a face. He's just a fucking dick.
Yeah, oh man, yeah. That's one thing I saw on socials past 3 or 4 weeks. Is just and it's a picture of him, just can we please have Bullseye take him out, or can we please have Jessica Jones take him out? Man, everybody wants this guy's head on a platter. I was like, he's doing a good job.
And he just always finds a way to stay on top. I don't know how, but we'll see what happens in season 3. But just to go back, then that's when the fighting happens. So you see on one side, you see Jessica Jones and Daredevil having the annual hallway fight.
Yes, we did. I was like, we're always guaranteed one, and here we go.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah, even Kingpin had one.
Which that was fucking brutal. I like how you just open the door and goes, boo. And just levels everybody with one punch. He takes one dude and just curls him around the wall corner.
I know, just they're really playing up his strengths without, they're getting they're not over saturating it, but it's just enough where you're fuck. I do not want to take a punch from this guy. He would just, my face would melt.
I'm like, Spider-Man, how are you beating that guy?
Right.
It's I don't want that dude showing up in Spider-Man. He'll fucking beat the shit out of me. But yeah, bloody everywhere with Kingpin, all in his white suit, and then you get to the center of the courthouse, where Kingpin's standing on the balcony, and he's just giving a speech of I've given everything to New York, I've given everything to the city.
Great visuals.
I love you. And then that's when everybody decides to surround Kingpin, which I'm like, he's just going to kill more people. But no, they end up overpowering him and beating the shit out of him. But Daredevil and Jessica Jones are like, no, we're better. No, or not so much Jessica Jones, but Daredevil's like, no, we're better than this. No, stop. Like, this isn't going to help anything.
Yeah.
And then that's when Charlie and Vince, like I know him, they have this good scene of dialogue where Matt's like, I think you should take the deal. I know you love New York. I know I love New York. We both love New York. But the best thing for the city to thrive is you need to be out of the picture. You need to leave. Like, this isn't going to end well. Yeah. And then that's when he takes the deal and he's like, I think he said, like, I hope you understand I'm not going to shake your hand.
Right.
And then that's when the screen goes to dark. And then you see a happy ending, which I'm like, yeah, this isn't a happy ending. I don't trust it for a second. And that's when the realization, like when Karen sees the cops coming, she's like, I thought we'd have more time.
Yeah, consequences.
Yeah, consequences. Was it attempted murder and
attempted murder? Yep,
violence or whatever. And Matt just gets on the floor and does this. And then when he tries to read his rights, he's like, I'm going to waive the rights. I used to be a lawyer. And so he goes away. And you just see what everyone else is up to. You see Jessica playing with her kid, and then you see Daddy coming home.
Yes.
Which is Mike Coulter returning as Luke Cage. Who does not age.
Nope.
Looks exactly the same as he did, 8 years ago?
Yep.
As my podcasting partner Justin would say, who was a black man. Black don't crack. So yeah, it was good to see Luke Cage. I haven't seen him in a while. And then he's, talking to Jess, and she's like, are you done? He's like, yep, I'm done. I'm home.
I think they found someone else.
Which happens to be Benjamin.
Yeah.
Bullseye, who's now with Matthew Lillard, who, again, it's one of those things I'm like, I hope it's not just a one and done character with Lillard. I kind of want to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully this leads to maybe mutants. Maybe.
We'll see.
So then you see Jessica close the door and it says alias investigation. So
yeah, I was like, oh, nice callback. I like it.
So it looks like she's back in the game. And then the show ends like you mentioned earlier. Matt's walking through prison. And he sees Cole North, who just kind of gives him the head nod, and you see Powell and everybody else. So the vigilante task force is officially disbanded.
Yep.
And then Kingpin's on a beach somewhere, or is that a dream?
That's why I don't know. I mean, he's in a white suit on a beach. Maybe to get to some just mental therapy for himself off. Like, I'm going to take a little vacation. I think I kind of earned it. And then we know he'll probably come back to New York because we got season 3 coming. And like you said too, like showed a little bit of therapist kind of going off the deep end towards the end as well.
Oh yeah.
And then we got what's her face joining the Chronicle.
BB, yeah.
BB, yes, because we got another callback there. With dang it, what's his name?
I know him by name, but I remembered. I'm like, hey, it's that guy.
Yeah, I was like, oh, the one from the Netflix show. Nice callback.
Same thing with the last episode when that officer came back. I'm like, hey, it's that guy.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I remember him.
He was on Welcome to Derry, actually.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Played the dad that was under investigation. But anyways, go on.
No, it's just from what I'm reading and so definitely we're going to get some prison time Murdock in season 3. But I'm excited. Looks like we got a lot of stuff in the works here. I hope we get more White Tiger because we did see a little bit of her fighting in the hallway scene. I was just like, yeah, give me White Tiger. Hope she pops up more, whether it's in season 3 of Daredevil or shit, maybe even Punisher or somewhere else. But yeah, the one thing, because you brought up about Kingpin kind of having more of like a Shakespearean tragedy. When he was up there on that, basically the hallway part, looking down at all the people coming for him, like it just that read like a Shakespeare play right there.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm doing this for you people because I love you. And it's just very dramatic, very Othello-esque,
Mhm.
mind you. And then just the shots of the people coming around the staircases up to fight him, just seeing that visual from down, like looking down. And I was like, he just hit people left and right, and they're like starting to crowd him. Just like, I was like, oh, that's just a great visual right there. And you just see the blood start splattering on his white suit even more. Um, and I know she didn't get a lot of screen time this season, but I know she's going to have her own show coming back up again. But seeing Jessica Jones and the minutes that she was on screen, she killed it. Um, uh, like you said, our boy Coulter kind of ruined a few things. But that's the problem with social media. You get excited about something, then you post it, you ruin it, and you got Kevin Feige calling you to threaten your life or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it was good seeing Jesus Christ, Krysten Ritter.
Yes.
Yeah, Krysten Ritter back as Jessica Jones, obviously Mike Coulter, and next season we're getting some Iron Fist. We're
Yep.
getting Finn Jones, which I am an Iron Fist apologist. I didn't hate the first season the way everyone thought it did. I didn't think it was particularly great. I thought it was
I thought it was fine.
it was generic.
Yeah.
I'll say that because it's just like we were on kind of a hot roll, with a lot of these Netflix shows where it's like, oh, Daredevil's about injustice and fighting for justice. Luke Cage is about explores police brutality and
Yep.
running away from your past, and Jessica Jones talks about PTSD, and they even brought up rape on the show.
Oh, was it Mr. Purple? I thought he was a great freaking villain.
Oh, David Tennant was awesome.
Oh,
And then Punisher, obviously, that's like everything mixed in one. And then with Iron Fist, it's like, what's the social message for this? It's like, I'm a billionaire that crashed down in the Chinese Alps, and now I can learn karate.
Yeah, it was definitely the weakest of the four there.
Yeah. So I acknowledge the show wasn't particularly good. It also didn't help that they choreographed the action 2 weeks before filming.
Yeah.
And then I remember Iron Fist, he came out on one episode of Luke Cage, and in one episode of another show with different writers, they fixed everything wrong with him.
Right.
And then season 2 was like exponentially better.
Yeah.
So I'm glad Finn Jones is back. I've heard he's been like itching to come back, and he's like a Iron Fist fanboy. So hopefully this can be his Andrew Garfield moment.
Right.
So I'd be happy to see him back, which he obviously is coming back. And judging by how this season ended, which might even play into Brand New Day. So I think the reason why Peter was in a prison is he's trying to break somebody out. And I think that might be Matt, but I think Matt is probably like, no, I belong here. I broke the law. I am a servant of the court. I know how the law works. Leave me here. And then season 3 of Daredevil can be Iron Fist dressing up as Daredevil, which I think that was a comic where Matt Murdock was in prison, yeah, and then Iron Fist dressed up as Daredevil,
which could be one of the legal ways in the show where they can get Matt out. But you kind of hit the nail on the head where I think, because if you remember, Matt Murdock was in No Way Home, not Daredevil. So if, Spider-Man goes to, this could be part of that montage in the beginning of Brand New Day, not to go off too deep on a tangent on that, where you see him fighting different villains like the Hand. In this particular scene, you could have Spider-Man trying to save Matt Murdock out of prison, but Matt Murdock's there. He's just like, no, dude, appreciate the help, but I'm going to serve my time. We got to do it the legal way.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're spot on about that, I owe you a Coke.
Coke Zero. But yeah, that's Daredevil season 2, or Daredevil Born Again season 2. Season 3 is filming as we speak, and it will be out probably the same time next year. Which I like the fact that they're getting everything out of the way. They're not making us wait 4 years.
I know that was a lot of criticisms about a lot of other shows, like Invincible for one. You know, it took them like 3 or 4 years to come out with another season, but now they're cranking them out a lot faster. But
Yeah, that first season was in 2020. I remember that, and then it took him a few years to release it. I'm like, why is it taking so long?
yeah,
And then the second season they broke into 2 parts, which made no sense. And then
not a fan of
I
that.
think Robert Kirkman was like, "Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. We're just going to have them come out consecutively every year." So
Yeah, but you know that also because that helps them crank it out because I'm sure, you know, because I saw that spread over social media. You get 1 or 2 positive things, and you got a dozen negative things that people want to bitch about, but about the viewership being down for season 2, which I don't
yeah,
really care. I loved it. I know you loved it. I keep cranking
right.
them out. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's another thing we can kind of delve into a little bit is this season isn't as high as people thought it'd be because we were on Disney Plus last night, obviously watching it, and then there was like a top 4 list, and Daredevil's like number 4. Mandalorian is number 1, which obviously because it's Star Wars and the movie's coming
and
out.
yep,
And then there's like a show I don't remember the name of it. That's like number 2 or 3, and then the Mall show, which is number 2.
yeah,
So I don't know. Like I was watching Double Toasted last night, and the host was talking about why he thinks this season the numbers aren't as good as they thought it'd be. He kind of gave his own reason where he thinks that last season was just, I guess, the show trying to find its groove because they just brought it back and they're like, it's in the MCU. It's been in the MCU the whole time. Like,
right.
And it's like, mm-hmm. And I think that if they're just trying to find their footing, it also didn't help that last season, there were reshoots done on that show.
Yeah,
Which you can kind of tell in some shots, like, oh, that seems like a reshoot. Not as obvious as Brave New World,
right.
but last season was good. Wasn't great, but it was good. This season I thought was exponentially better.
Yeah,
It felt more like a complete show that had like one narrative going. But again, I'm kind of I'm like you, where I'm just like, I don't care.
yeah,
I mean, if I'm working for Disney Plus, I probably shouldn't say that, but like I'm a consumer, I watch the shit. I'm just like, I really don't care. And I hate when people try to use that as an argument. It's like, oh, this show's not good because of this. I'm like, I don't care.
yeah.
I like the show.
I saw several people talk about, could it be people trying to escape from reality and, with real world events, and Daredevil's kind of highlighting stuff this season that is a lot of real world events going on right now. And some people are trying to connect the dots and saying, well, it's not getting more viewers because people would want to watch a TV show about superheroes that are dealing with real life stuff because we're trying to deal with real life stuff at the same time. So they want to turn it off. So I don't know the levity of that, if there's really a connection there. I mean,
Right.
could just be there's a lot of shit that's out and some people just haven't checked out Daredevil yet. That happens. I know a couple people who will wait till a show comes out fully and then just binge it. Like how I'm going to do with The Boys. When The Boys is over with, which I know we're getting close to that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to binge it.
Yeah, I mean, because this starting back in March all the way until now, it's like everything decided to come out at the same time.
Yep.
You got Daredevil, you had Invincible, you had The Boys, something else coming up. There's the Spider Noir show coming up. There's movies coming out. Yeah, just a lot of shit. So much shit coming out. And
Yep.
it's just, I guess it's hard for people to keep up. And yeah, there are people who do that will wait until a series literally ends because they would rather just binge everything instead of doing the weekly, model, which you can kind of blame Netflix for that because
Yeah.
Netflix started the whole binging thing. Whereas back in our day, we had to wait every week for a new episode, and that's what made the experience that much special. Was like, what's gonna happen?
Right.
The most recent show that kind of made me feel that way was The Pit, where that was a weekly episode thing of like something crazy would happen, and then it would just go to credits, and I would just go, no.
Like,
What
I gotta wait a
happened?
week now.
I gotta wait a week now. I gotta wait till fucking this time to watch this shit. So in some ways that helps, but I mean, if I had to pick anything, I would say the weekly release model is much better and makes people care about your product. With Netflix, they started that mantra of like, you can watch the whole series in one sitting.
Right.
You know, when they released Daredevil for the first time, I remember that. I remember staying up until 2 a.m. just to watch the whole show. I don't think I watched it in one sitting, but I just remember like I stayed up late to watch it.
Yeah. Well, it's that instant gratification, which is the norm these days. I mean, back in our day, kids who are watching, we used to get these little books in the mail called a TV guide. And it would sit there tell you all this new stuff and a little synopsis if it was a brand new episode. And that's what we did every, what was it, Monday they came in the mail or the weekend prior?
Yeah.
You sit there and be like, oh, do you got a new episode of this show that I'm into? Especially when it came to Saturday morning cartoons. But yeah, now it's just like, oh, new show's out. Can I watch everything all at once? Sweet, I'm sold. So it's just unfortunately the way things are.
Yeah, like my schedule was always timed to what shows came out that day. You know, with Monday, it's like Mondays were wrestling. So it's like, all right, Raw starts at 7. So I'm going to do this before 7. Tuesday, what's on Tuesday? I'll just, random show that comes on Tuesday. Wednesdays is this show. Thursdays is Supernatural. Fridays is SmackDown. Saturday, Sunday is, like you said, cartoons. 7, 8 in the morning to like what, 10 or 11?
10:30.
So nowadays it's just like, here's the whole season. Disney Plus also was kind of doing that with some shows that they weren't confident in. Like they did that with Marvel Zombies, where they just dropped it in September, which I'm like, a show called Marvel Zombies, you don't release that in October.
Right.
Like on the week of, or not even the week of, you could have released it the day of Halloween. That's a missed opportunity, dude. Or same thing with Wonder Man. They released Wonder Man all in one day, and that ended up being a fucking hit.
Right.
Same thing with other Marvel shows, which I think it's mainly Marvel shows. I don't think they do that with a lot of the Star Wars shows.
I think you're right when you say it depends how confident they are. Like if they're like, oh, we know this show's going to be huge, like Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we're going to do it weekly. But if it's a show, they're just like, ooh, we filmed this during all these other shitty Marvel shows that came out. Let's just go ahead and just drop it whole nug and see how it goes. Just like Wonder Man. I mean, who knows how really confident Disney was in that. So they're just like, oh, we're just going to drop it and see what the consensus is. And it turned out to be a great show.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, what's that shit in the cabinet right there? Oh, that's Iron Fist. That's been, or not Iron Fist. That's Ironheart. That's been sitting there for 2 years. Just throw it on.
See what happens.
I hate to use Ironheart as an example, but like that's what it felt like, because that show was done for 2 years. Because that filmed a little bit after Wakanda Forever, and that was literally filmed and finished for 2 whole fucking years until they finally decided to put it out. And of course, writer strikes, things happen, so some shows had to be delayed. But yeah, it's just a lot of these shows that they don't have confidence in, they end up being good.
Yeah, well, that's why Marvel Zombies. I don't think they had much confidence in that. Ended up getting a lot of really good reviews. Left pretty decent cliffhanger, and now they're got season 2. I think they finished that. I think it's in the can. I don't know when they're going to drop it, but and then same thing with Wonder Man. They're going to start doing season 2 of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's going to be huge too. So with that show, it's like, please keep everything that you made about the first season special with this one. Like, you don't need to rush it. You don't need to put them in the movies. You don't need to put them with the Avengers, yet, unless there's a reason to.
Right.
I know in the comics, Wonder Man gets with Scarlet Witch. I do know that. Just please take your time.
Yep. Take your time and make it right.
Because again, like Marvel, they're kind of on a hot streak right now. They're on a big hot streak right now.
Yep.
With their TV shows, their movies. Spider-Man's a cash cow. Like that's $1 billion just waiting for you.
Yep.
Avengers, that's more billions waiting for you. Secret Wars, that's another billion waiting for you. And then eventually they're gonna, start talking about mutants, and we're gonna get a Marvel Cinematic Universe for the next few years where it's just X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy.
It's just now all underneath the Disney Corporation instead of being Fox over here, Marvel over here, yada yada. Now it's under one umbrella, and let's hope we just make it good. Just make it good. That's all I care about.
Especially the X-Men.
Yes.
The X-Men, the X-Men are like, we have to use our child caring gloves. Just
You hear this, Disney? Don't fuck it up.
Do not fuck up the X-Men. Look at X-Men 97 as your elder. Look at how they did that, where it's like, yeah, this is a Marvel universe, but this is about the X-Men. We can have Captain America show up and get bitched out by Rogue. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just keep it that way. You can have other characters interact, but don't make it so much about like, hey, I wonder what Captain America is up to. It's like, no, like nobody would talk about that. Like, make this their world, but it just so happens to be in another world. So
right.
That's kind of my only caveat, or not caveat, my only. But that's enough of that. That's enough of the Marvel talk. We're going to talk about some other things. So some trailers came out in the past 2 weeks. Very horror centric, even though all three of them, they're all horror, but they all feel like different genres of horror.
Yeah.
I guess we can talk about the freshest one that just came out yesterday. So Evil Dead Burn.
Burn, baby, burn.
Which we got an Evil Dead Rises a few years ago, which I liked that movie. I really liked it. Yeah. It was my type of horror movie. I love isolation horror. That's my favorite kind of horror. You trap everybody in this dilapidated apartment building, and then there's the Necronomicon book?
Yeah, I can never pronounce it right. So Necronomicon or the Dead Book. We'll call it the Dead Book.
Yeah, John Draper and Brian, if you're listening, we're sorry. Please, you can discipline us however you feel. But which that book always seems to show up in the most random places, and people see that and they go, "I'm gonna read it." Like if I saw a book that looked like that, I would go, "No."
Like I'm gonna keep on walking.
Hey, Drew, we should read. No, we shouldn't. Come with me.
Did you just have somebody pass, and this book is about raising them back from the dead? That seems like a jolly good idea.
It's like, hey, now no one's reading. That's always kind of my only complaint about those films. I'm like, okay, so does that book have like some kind of, does that put people in a trance when they see it? Or they're just like, what is this?
It is basically, a book for the demons by the demons. So it could be possessed. Who knows?
Like you see a book that's pretty much like it looks like it's made of skin and thorns and blood. I'm like, I wouldn't go anywhere near that shit. Like I'm already not a big reader in general, but if I see a book that looks like it was literally made from hell, I'm like, no,
I'm passing that one.
I'm gonna go to the comic section, maybe with some manga. I don't know. I'm not reading that shit. But yeah, Evil Dead Burn, which follows a different story. Which the first teaser I thought was already good enough. Like that hooked me in, of just like that lady crawling on the floor, and it's just that one shot. And again, anyone that knows me knows I'm a sucker for one shots, where she's just crawling on the floor, and then there's just chaos behind her.
Yeah.
Like you just see this random dude floating. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, that's the hook. That's how you got me. You already had my interest. Now you have my curiosity. And then this trailer begins with, again, another one shot of like, in every Evil Dead movie, they always have to foreshadow possible ways of dying, where this lady's doing like dishes.
I know.
She's putting away utensils. I'm like, oh God, what's going to happen with those?
You just see the knife and you're like, oh, they're showing that for a reason.
and then it gets to the main actress, which I don't know anyone. I mean, the only person I know in this film is the guy who actually played Muse in Daredevil, and he was also in.
Oh yeah, that's why he looks so freaking familiar. I was just like, I've seen that guy in something recently. But yep, you're right. He played
But
Muse.
which again, I think with these Evil Dead films, it's good to have fresh faces.
Yeah.
Don't get A-list. I wouldn't want to see any A-list actors in these films. I would not. That's why it's good to have fresh faces in Evil Dead films. I mean, horror films in general, I think, work better when you have fresh faces.
Nobody really established. Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. And then it cuts to her. It cuts to the guy coming in. All of a sudden, you just hear a loud knock, and you just see the back of someone's feet walking, very, scary. And then you just see this, like, what do you call it? Like the headrest in a car seat.
Yeah.
in her face. I'm like,
and it's popping out the mouth. I was like, oh!
And then she just pulls it out. I'm like, holy fuck. The rest of the trailer is just batshit crazy.
Exactly.
You see her fingers chopped off, like, gradually. And you see how that happens. And then it ends with her taking the fucking candle and drinking the wax. I'm like, ah! That's gross and I'm like that meme of, was it Mac from Always Sunny? That's fucking gross. Where?
Now, the thing is, too, is like, they showed a lot in this trailer, which tells me there's far worse shit that they're not showing you. Because I know that's one big complaint that a lot of us in the inner circle have is when a trailer shows too much. Now, this trailer showed a lot. It showed several, maybe not key characters, but characters that are important to the plot. Obviously, don't make it. And so, but I'm just like, if they're showing this, there must be other stuff cranked up to 1,000 that they're not showing us. Like, because she got, what was it? It wasn't a weed eater, but it was I'm just going to call it a crazy weed eater because I don't know exactly what kind of machine she was holding. But I'm just like, oh, that's going to get nasty.
And I love it. I'm going to be here for it. And then going back to the knives and the forks, you see the guy who's just like doing the whole thing, and she goes boo, and then he falls onto the fucking knives, and then she gets on top of him. Like, like if I'm in an Evil Dead movie, I'm just like putting padding all over everything else in the fucking house. I'm like, this looks like it can be used for death. Put that away. Put that away. Put that away. And they still kill me with it. But yeah, it looks batshit bonkers and crazy. I'm here for it. Comes on July 10th, a week before my birthday. I put on X. I'm like, can I get this for my birthday instead of Odyssey?
Which normally around I know before the 4th they generally have Blockbuster come out. So I'm hoping that doesn't take away where I'm not sure. Do we know? Does anything big come out before the 4th? Generally, there is something big. And usually that'll carry over for a couple weeks. So I'm just hoping for that placement. I'm hoping there's no other horror movies because if it's generally it's a big action movie or a big animation movie. So hopefully this will bring people to the theaters who want to get away from the action or animated and want something definitely adult, definitely horror. So I'm hoping it does big because it looks like this movie's going to deliver.
All right, so in June, The Legend of Aang: Last Airbender, which that actually got leaked.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it got leaked, apparently. June, Scary Movie 6, that comes out on June 5th. Masters of the Universe, that's going to be big.
Gonna be big.
Let's see. I already know Supergirl's coming out on June 26th. Disclosure Day.
That might be big just because it's Steven Spielberg. So,
yeah, here's what I want. I want to see The Furious. That looks fucking bonkers.
Oh, when does that come out?
Oh, that comes out in June 12th.
Okay, middle of June. Okay,
the same day as Disclosure Day.
Okay.
Oh boy, they. Toy Story 5. That's gonna be big.
That's $1 billion.
The Death of Robin Hood. I want to see that.
That looks really good. I don't know how well it's going to do in theaters though.
Well, it's coming out the same day as Toy Story 5.
Nice knowing you, Hugh.
I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah, same.
To do Supergirl, June 26th, Jackass, Best and Last. And okay, so that was it for June. Let me see what comes out in the beginning of July.
Yeah, that's one I'm wondering about.
All right, so July, Minions and Monsters, July 1st.
All right. Well, I mean that will do big just because kids love it.
Yeah, it's a kids movie. So yeah, nothing on July
Oh, okay.
4th.
Okay. Well, then hopefully it should do bangers the week after. So
Oh yeah, I think Evil Dead's kind of fucked because it comes out July 10th, the same day as the live action Moana.
never mind. Oh my god.
Financially, it'll be fucked.
Yeah. Unless there is, I mean, it all depends what its budget is, and if for people who don't want to see, to me, even if my daughter was wanting to go, which she's not into Moana anymore, like I was just like, the animated came out what 5-6 years ago.
Yeah,
I don't need a fucking live action Moana. I'm sorry, I just
Disney's like, we don't give a fuck what you want. You're gonna watch this.
I know Disney doesn't listen to me. I'm just a pissant, but that's just
Yeah.
I was just like, are we really doing this? But yeah,
Well,
it's gonna make billions, and I'm
Yeah.
just hoping Evil Dead doesn't get lost.
Well, the sequel made billions, so now the live action's gonna make billions probably. Which I'll be honest, I like Disney. I like Disney enough. I wouldn't say I'm a Disney head, but Moana's the original Moana I was never nuts about.
I catchy ass tunes, I'll tell you that much. We had the soundtrack
Mm.
going, and my daughter loved it. I thought it was good. I mean, just what we need. I mean, I know The Rock's hurting. He needs more money in his pocket for that $3.5 million watch he's wearing at the gala. So, I
Poor
mean,
guy. Poor guy.
he's close to food stamps. He is. I know. Poor fella.
Hopefully Trump will let him have it. Yeah. So Evil Dead Burn, we're here for it.
Hell yeah.
But let's move on to another trailer that came out.
One quick thing about before we move on. Do you notice, was that because there was a pond scene or a lake scene that was very reminiscent to the beginning of Evil Dead Rise. So I'm just like, are we going to have kind of like a wraparound story where, because that looked like the same chick that was in the first 10 minutes of Evil Dead Rise with the long hair floating out of the water. Because I was sitting there, because I watched the trailer like a couple times, like, is that the same girl? I was like, are we going to have kind of connecting the dots here between Rise and Burns? I'm hoping.
Could be. I mean, you never know.
I just want to bring that up just because I was like, oh, it'd be cool if we have like a wraparound story where, and like, because basically the first 10-15 minutes of Evil Dead Rise had nothing to do with the rest of the story.
No. Well, yes and no.
It sets it up, but it like the characters in that first 10 minutes weren't involved with the rest of the movie. So
yeah,
I think it'd be kind of cool if we have a continuation of that into Evil Dead Burns. So,
which that's the one thing that kind of like made me go, huh? Was like at the end of the movie, spoilers. You had that girl come out at the end of the movie into the parking lot, and she just sees everything fucked up. I'm like, okay, obviously you live on the high floor. How is it that you didn't know what was going on beneath
right?
So I don't know. That was just kind of my only thing of like, of all the things that weren't realistic in the movie, I'm like, wait a minute, how did you not know what was going on this whole time?
Were you in a deep sleep?
Like I took some Ambien, so I was knocked the fuck out. I'm like, okay,
You guys were loud. What were you doing down there?
Are you guys partying? Rude.
Oh my gosh! Don't you know the city codes? It's past 10 o'clock.
Ew, what's all this blood? Ah! And then that's but yeah, that'd be interesting if they found a way to wrap it around. That's what I love about Evil Dead and also Final Destination is that with their sequels, they don't feel like they're always trying to make it a legacy sequel and bring popular characters back. I like that they do anthology stories. Yeah. And I think a lot of horror franchises would benefit from doing anthology series because, like, I think Scream really could have benefited from doing more anthology stories.
Yeah, But
Instead of just being like, can Sidney Prescott overcome the odds and defeat another Ghostface? Face.
This is the 10th time they're trying to kill her, and they just can't succeed.
It's like, Ghostface, you're alive? Gasp. Let's totally not kill off any more legacy characters after Dewey. I mean, they tried to do that with, or Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera's story, which I actually enjoyed. I thought that was a better story because it's like, oh, we're not relying on and then there's Gale. Shit.
Yep.
And there's Dewey. Fuck.
Yep.
I know Halloween tried to do that with Season of the Witch, and then that got like panned by fans. And from what I haven't seen Season of the Witch yet, but I will watch it because I've heard it's actually very good.
You've never seen Season of the Witch? Oh, well, you
It's
got
on
to put
my
that on your. That's on your docket this Halloween season.
It's on my to-do list, and from what I heard, it's actually really, really good.
It is
because it's a movie that has nothing to do with Halloween. It's set in a universe of Halloween, but it's its own thing. And did John Carpenter do Season of the Witch?
Yes, he did. He was in. If you ever watched Into the Darkness, that whole anthology series about every single horror movie that came out in the 80s, that's one thing he talked about is he wanted to get away from the Michael Myers and start doing an anthology series. That was his goal, but then it got railroaded by critics and fans alike when it came out, because they're like, Halloween? There's no Michael Myers. What is this? I don't like it. And then fast forward 10, 15, 20 years, and now it's a cult classic. People love it. People are appreciating what Carpenter was trying to do. And yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think nowadays it'll be more praised, since nowadays, horror fans, they want more than just like legacy characters.
Yep.
And that's why I'm happy. Again, Final Destination did it, where they were just like, we're going to have different stories that are connected in their own way, but not like, we're going to bring this guy back. And it's like, why are they?
Right. You're not following the same characters through 3 or 4 or 5 movies. So,
which there's only been a bad Final Destination movie. That was the race car one.
Oh yeah. That was,
yeah. And then the next one after that, which was called The Final Destination, that ended up being like so much better, and it had that plot twist where you're just like, oh shit, this is spoilers. Actually, yeah. I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're just like, holy shit, what a twist. And then 6 came out, and that's probably like easily like a 2 or 3 in the series. Like,
yeah,
top
they
the series.
Yeah, they put the gas on the violence and the death scenes. I mean, and it told a good story.
Yeah, you had a new director that felt more inspired to tell his own story and have better deaths. And this is one of those movies, like Final Destination 6. I hated it in some ways because it's just like, I like these characters. They seem like really good, nice people, but they have to die.
Right.
It's like, you seem like a nice person, but you gotta die.
We want to see you bite the bullet.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, but you gotta die. That's just how it works. And then Tony Todd with that.
That was a good send-off.
That was good, man. Like, it felt like he wasn't just talking as a character. He was talking to the people. He was talking as himself. And I'm just like, oh, man, Candyman. Come on, man. R.I.P. Great. Yeah. Tony Todd's a legend. Yep. But let's switch gears to another trailer that released a week prior. We're just going to go in chronological order of just like what happened recently. We'll say the best for last. So, Zach Kreger. We love Zach Kreger around here.
We do.
He's made some good shit. He made Barbarian, which that was a movie I had little to no expectations for. And then I watched it and I was blown away. I thought it was amazing. It was in my top 5 that year. I do remember that.
Yep.
And then Weapons, which was like, I think my second favorite film of the year. And
it was my favorite last year. It
was awesome. Amazing. It lived up to the hype. Great from top, for beginning, middle, end. You had an actress that won an Oscar for it. She won an Oscar for a horror movie, Amy Madigan, and they're doing a prequel about her character, which I'm stoked about. Zach Kreger's next venture will be an IP, which he is writing and directing himself, and it is Resident Evil
Ooh.
1. Well, it's just called Resident
Yes, I love it.
Zach Kreger's Resident Evil. So he's already stated this is set in the world of Resident Evil. This doesn't really have anything to do with other characters, so you won't be seeing Leon Kennedy or Chris Redfield or Claire Valentine, Ada Wong. Who's am I missing a name?
Jill Valentine.
Jill Valentine. There you go. So it's about an entirely new character, played by Austin Abrams, who was in Weapons.
Yes.
Who was great in Weapons, and
he played the lovable crackhead.
Was it Jamie the Junkie or something like that?
Yeah.
So basically, in this movie, it gives you everything without giving you everything. You know, you see Austin, walking in the snow, and he just shows up to this lone house, and just that sound editing of just like you hear the of a drop call. I'm like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And basically, I think we talked about this, where it's like the movie just begins and it doesn't stop.
Yep.
It's like I think they called it Mad Max Fury Road, but with horror.
Yep.
And you just see all this crazy shit, ensuing. You see creatures. You don't see the zombies just yet. They kind of give you a little bit where you're just going, what the fuck is that? You see that giant fat guy in the sewer who looks like the dude from Dune.
Yeah, doesn't say it. That's the meme that went around. I was like, oh, it's the guy from Dune. He's in Resident Evil. Nice.
The one spot that got me, and usually trailers don't scare me, but the one spot where like the doors open, you see all these hands and feet come out. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
like,
that's one thing Kreger said, that he's focusing more in this movie about the mutations and what the T virus does to the anatomy of whether it's a human or an animal or hell, plants. If you ever played the games, how it transforms and mutates them. So he says you're going to see a lot of more mutations, which I still think we're going to get zombies on here, because we do literally see it rain zombies.
That was dope.
That was a great freaking shot.
Metal.
Yes. And yeah, I mean, so we got a few glimpses, like I said, the thing through the door. We got like legs, arms. I was like, oh, this shit looks like a big baddie. And we got the fat man in the tunnel. I think that's all they really... There's a lot of perceived shit that's chasing him that they didn't necessarily, show on camera. It just looks like he's going to be running for his life the entire film.
That's going to be dope. Zach Kreger has a thing for doors. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Like in Barbarian, there was that great opening with a door. Well, mainly the house, but a door. And then in Weapons, there was that really great jump scare where you just see the lady coming out with the shears. I'm like,
right,
what the fuck is happening? And then they do that brilliant shot off camera where you just hear her coming to the car. You're like, yeah. And you see her cut off that lady's hair. I'm like, that
was so fucking intense in the theater seeing that, because everybody was just like, because there's no music, you just hear the walking. And you're like, what the fuck's going to happen? You're like, wake up!
I mean, I've always said, like, Barbarian, I watched it, I'm like, this seems like a really good Resident Evil film. And then Weapons kind of had hints of Resident Evil in them, somewhat. And then come to hear Zach Kreger's like, oh, I want to make a Resident Evil film. I'm like, well, that checks. But this looks awesome. I know, again, there's already complaints. There's already people like, this doesn't look like Resident Evil. Where's Leon? Where's Jill in her nice hot pants? Where's Chris Redfield hitting a boulder? Where's the giant spiders? This isn't Resident Evil.
It's so funny. People are just like, this doesn't look like Resident Evil. I was like, do you guys remember the first Resident Evil that came out? It didn't have any characters from the game in it. You had Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
Who was
not even a character from
non-canon. I mean, the first movie is basically a prequel to the games. I didn't hear a lot of bitching back then, except it wasn't that great of a movie. I mean, it was fine. I enjoyed it.
The first two were passable.
Yeah.
I would argue maybe the second one's the better ones. Everything else after that.
Yeah.
I'll do you one better. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. That had nothing to do with the original games. That
Yep.
was an entirely new character named Ethan who wasn't a trained martial artist or a military expert at fighting or whatever the fuck. He was just a regular dude.
Yeah.
And he was getting fucked up in the whole game. And then, spoilers at the end of the game, you find out that, oh, it is connected with Umbrella and then Chris Redfield for some reason. And then same thing with Village, where he gets fucked up again. He's just a regular dude, And just
Right.
recently with a Requiem, you had sections where you played as Leon and a new character named Grace, who again regular person, not a trained fighter or a martial artist like Leon Kennedy.
Just finished up the game last week. Loved it. But you're right. Yeah, Grace. I mean, yeah, we had tie-ins with Leon, but again, new character. You can have, especially you're going from games to movies, TV shows, as long as it's a great story and they can interconnect to what the realm is. I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, based on what I've read about what the movie is what his name's Austin? Is that his first name?
Austin. Well, the actor's name is Austin
The actor.
Abrams.
Yeah. Don't know who's playing it in the movie, but
Yeah.
his whole thing is he's supposed to get like this, whether it has the T virus in it or whether he has this medical kit that he has to take to an Umbrella facility.
Yeah.
And that's point A to point B. That's what the movie's going to be. And I guarantee you there is going to be, I don't want to say cameos, but there is going to be obvious tie-ins to the game.
Yeah.
So I am so freaking excited. I mean, I can already tell like this movie's gonna start with a bang and it's gonna end with a bang. And
Yeah, and if it's successful enough, we're gonna get a new Resident Evil franchise, a better one.
yeah. And I'm one thing I read that I'm excited about is in the beginning of the movie, he's basically going to start out with like you do in the game, very basic, like limited inventory. Like he's going to sit there and like, oh, I can't. I want it. Is this a thing of health? I got no room. How am I supposed to carry this with me? To having a very basic like handgun, and as the movie progresses, he finds better shit. He's able to craft shit just like the game, and I'm just like, oh. And there, I guess too, there's gonna be parts where it's gonna seem like a first. You know how like shitty the Doom movie was, but they did that first person perspective. He's gonna have those elements in Resident Evil where they're gonna switch it from third person to first person. And I'm just like, ooh, yay.
Yeah, that's you're gonna follow that character. I know there's other actors. I think Paul Walter Hauser's in it.
Yep.
A few other actors. I don't know them by name. I know one of them. She was on True Detective, the last season of True Detective.
Oh, okay.
And then the other guy, don't know him by name. I know he was in the Spider-Man movies where he's like, "Hey, Spider-Man, do a flip."
Oh, that guy.
Like that was the guy. So again, another complaint is just Zach Kreger. He said that he imagines this takes place somewhere between 2 and 3. I think he said 2 and 3.
Right.
And people are like, "Oh, why is it snowing?" And it's just like, okay, well, first of all, I'm not even gonna pretend I'm a Resident Evil, enthusiast. I just know enough about it. But just based on my research, by listening to people who know about Resident Evil a lot more than me, Raccoon City's next to a mountain,
Yep.
and it snows in the mountain, and also, who fucking cares?
Thank you. I was like, are we at this point where we're going to bitch about what the climate is in a movie? I mean, come on. It's just fucking snow. It's zombies and snow, and a guy's running for his life to get to point B and get a hold of his girlfriend at the same time.
Yeah, and it's also just like, didn't like the accident, like the T virus and the like infection happened sometime in the fall, like in
I
October, like
think
was it October or something?
I think so. I mean, when it hit the actual city, oh Jesus, this is gonna take me back to think. Yeah, it was during Resident Evil 2. But I can't remember what month it actually happened. But
Yeah, it's
like I
just
said,
like it snows. Who cares? Like it
yeah,
will. Like, it's just, like that's just. And they're also filming in Prague, so I don't know what you want me to tell you, but
right.
if they want to make it snow, if they want to make it cold, it's like, okay, if that's the only thing you're going to complain about, then I don't know what else to tell you. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I mean Resident Evil 3. That's another example that wasn't really connected to the other games. That was kind of its own story.
Yep.
With what was it? Was it Jill or Claire?
That one was with Claire, I believe.
Okay, all right. Again, it's just this is coming from a guy who's not exactly the biggest enthusiast, but like the same people who are claiming to love the games that are complaining about that, you can kind of tell that they're not really fans. That they
Right.
don't really know dick about the franchise. So
They just want to bitch.
exactly. I mean, it works. It's everything. I just Resident Evil is one of those franchises where it's just like there's been so many like renditions done and not very good
And
ones.
there's been so many bad that this could be great. Let's embrace it before we judge.
Yeah, it's just like it's such a simple concept to do, and people find a way to fuck it up. It's like it's about zombies. It's survival horror. That's all you need. It's like when people try to cook and they just add in ingredients that don't go in anything.
Right.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna make soup. I'm gonna throw in chicken broth. I'm gonna throw in the spice. I'm gonna throw in some vegetables. Now I'm gonna throw in jelly. Now I'm gonna throw in peanut butter. I'm like, whoa! That doesn't go in soup. What the fuck are you doing? Stop!
What weird
Stop.
shit are you into?
And it's just like, yeah, the stuff in the early 2000s with Mila Jovovich. It's like the first one was passable because I'm like, this is at least like resembles Resident Evil somewhat ?
Yeah.
And the second one, I actually did like the second one a lot. The third one was okay, and then everything else after that, it just turned into that. It turned into those parody movies about Ben Stiller from Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Like, who left the refrigerator door open? Like, that's what it felt like.
I agree.
So, and then the Welcome to Raccoon City, which
I
they
hated that.
they made an effort to at least try to make it look like Resident Evil. But they're like, what if we combine Resident Evil 1 and 2 in one movie? It's like,
Yeah.
and then they made Leon Kennedy a pussy.
Oh, that you took the words right out of my mouth. I was like, okay, we're gonna do 1 and 2 together in a film. And I see people now trying to say that movie was good. Like, we had it good, guys. You guys like, no, it wasn't good. I'm like, if we sit there and said you want the characters from the game to be in the movie, but you have those characters in the movie and you make them freaking whack ass pussy bitches, then there you go. You got it. Because they made Leon horrible in that movie.
Like, and I know I mentioned earlier about like fresh faces, but these weren't even fresh faces. These were TV actors.
Yeah.
You had Jade's boyfriend from Victoria's as Leon. You had Robbie Amell, who I got nothing against him. I think he's a better actor than Steven. But he was Chris Redfield.
It was Chris Redfield. Yep.
You had Ghost from Ant-Man as who was it? She was Jill, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And then you had the other actress who I can't really think of her name off the top of my head. She was Claire, and yeah, that was the movie. And it's like,
yeah,
that's what we got. And then we had that horrible, god awful Netflix show.
Yeah,
with the late Lance Reddick.
Yeah, which I liked him. I didn't like him in the role, and I thought the show was pretty crappy.
Which I heard there was an animated movie. I thought there's been animated movies that were pretty decent.
They have made like a handful, which the animated movies I think are a lot better than a lot of the other crap that's been out. But, yeah, but that's far and few in between. Like I said, we've had a lot of crap with this franchise. This could be amazing. It's Krager. I trust him. It's his own IP. Let's fucking go. I'm excited.
In Zach Krager, we trust.
Yes.
And then we'll just close it on the trailers with another trailer that came out a week prior, which is another horror but another genre, so to speak, and that is in the superhero comic book genre, or I guess more
Yes.
comic book, that's the way to put it.
Yep.
And that is Clayface.
Yes.
So a lot of these trailers, they do have one thing in common besides being horror. They all premiered at CinemaCon.
Yep.
And Clayface, I think, was like the first big one to come out, which is going to be directed by James Watkins, who did Eden Lake, and he also
Okay.
did the original Speak No Evil?
Yeah, the one that they came out with a English version a year or two ago with.
He directed that one.
He did that one. Okay.
He did the
That
OG.
one's
But did he? I think he either did the OG one or the remake. Anyways, and then Mike Flanagan, who's big in the horror community, he's writing the script.
Yep.
So yeah, this trailer, it's clearly everything you need it to be and want it to be. It is a body horror movie set in Gotham City.
Yep.
About Clayface, about who is it, Matt Hagen, who was this pretty boy movie star who it's in Gotham, so he's in it with the mob, and they cut up his face, and then he gets involved in some weird technology with what appears to be clay or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Think the substance, but it's in Gotham.
Right.
And the whole trailer is just that one shot of him, on the hospital bed, bandaged up and just staring at you.
Staring and just.
And it's just, I love it. And it's just showing like it's giving us, it's not giving us everything. It's giving us enough to be invested.
Give us a little taste.
And there's that one silhouette of him changing his hand to a mace. I'm like, oh that's Clayface.
Yeah. That's like very, very call back to the cartoon. The very famous, very popular. Damn it! Now I'm just blanking on the title of.
Well, I know what you're talking about. That's allegedly this movie's based on that episode.
Yeah, because when you see the shadow and you see the spikes come out, I was like, oh, that's very reminiscent from the cartoon.
I think it's called Feet of Clay.
Yes. Okay.
So that was Clayface. It's in the DCU. It's not in Matt Reeves' universe, which a lot of people are still of the ilk of like, oh, that's going to be the DCU Batman. It's like, no, it's not. Like, I don't want it to be. I want that Batman universe to stay in its own, like, elsewhere.
Yeah.
I thought Penguin was great. The Batman I thought was very, very good and love it.
It was a bit long. I mean,
it was a bit long in the tooth, and also the ending I thought was a little weird. I did like how they tied it into Penguin to make it make sense. But the Batman already looks like it's shaping up to be pretty big, but that's not going to be DCU Batman. We're going to get another Batman, which I'm fine with. You want to give me more Batman? Bring it on.
Yeah.
So this is set in Gotham in the DCU. As James Gunn has already said, there's going to be, this is his own universe, but everything's going to feel and look and smell different. Like with Creature Commandos, like with obviously Superman, Supergirl, and then later on like movies with Clayface. Eventually, we're going to get a Swamp Thing movie, which
I'm excited for.
A Swamp Thing movie directed by James Mangold.
Yes.
Give me that.
Now, I know Gunn said that this is its own universe, but isn't Frank Grillo making a cameo in Clayface? I thought I saw that somewhere. I could be wrong, but
I did not hear that. I mean, here's my thing. I kind of hope he doesn't, because again, I know it's a shared universe thing, but I kind of hope they just stick with the formula of like, let these movies breathe, let these characters breathe on their own.
Let this be like kind of how the first Joker was, the Joaquin Phoenix one. Like that was its own universe. Like I kind of want that with Clay. You know what I'm saying? Like I want Clayface to have its own, like where we don't need all these cameo appearances by characters who've been in other shows. Like this is its own separate.
No, I get you. Kind of like with Marvel, when they were trying to set up their characters by not having them lean too much on cameos, like with Guardians of the Galaxy, those movies felt like they were their own thing without relying on other characters or setting up a bigger universe. Like that's what I kind of hope for this movie. And also, I think Frank Grillo showing up in Clayface wouldn't really make sense because why does he need to show up in Gotham? Like Gotham doesn't really have any
Right.
enhanced individuals yet.
Right. Yeah.
So his whole focus is on Superman and also taking care of whatever the hell's going to happen in Man of Tomorrow. But I was telling this with RJ on our show where I kind of hope we don't get a Batman reveal at the end of this movie. I kind of hope it's just like, let's set up this character because I already know they're going to properly tell a villain origin story. Like they're not going to do what Sony did, where it's like we're going to have all these villains, but they're not really villains,
Right?
you know.
They made him more anti-hero than anything, which
and then
was
we're going to do a Sinister Six movie for reasons,
right?
Which Tom Holland's like, I don't know what Spider-Man you're looking at because I'm not doing that shit. And then Andrew Garfield's like, I have standards, so no. And then Toby's like, fuck off. So, I again, Clayface, it's on my list of most anticipated. I'm more anticipating this than Supergirl. Like I'm more hyped for this than Supergirl.
Yeah.
Because it has everything I need. Like it's a it looks like they're not only catering to comic book fans, they're catering to horror fans. And
yeah,
I want them to do more shit like this. I want them to do more shit like this in Gotham. Like I wouldn't mind like a fucking what are some other interesting Gotham characters you can make? A Scarecrow movie.
Yeah. And Gotham has the setting where you can do a lot more adult oriented. Not necessarily everyone has to be like a horror-esque, but it could definitely be. I mean, Penguin was a hard R mobster show. I mean, Clayface is going to be body horror. Like Scarecrow could be psychological. So you really more so on the DC side. I mean, Marvel. There's definitely a lot of properties where we can take the more adult storylines, but Gotham has that more. I mean, Goth is in the freaking name, Gotham. I mean, where you can have those darker elements, those darker themes. And they can, I'd be fine with, if you want to do character studies, have them be one and done. I mean, if Clayface happens just to be a one and done, I'm okay with that. As long as it's a good story, a great arc, he doesn't have to have a redemption story. He can be a bad guy.
No, I agree. I mean, eventually, all roads are going to lead to Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do an Arkham Asylum movie.
Oh.
Or even a series. Do an Arkham Asylum series.
Well, they were supposed to do a series, weren't they? But they got canned before the gun take over.
I would love if. I mean, yeah, I would love if they still did that. I think there was supposed to be one, and like Jeffrey Wright was supposed to be like the star in it or something like that. Which that would have been dope. But you're right. Like if it's just a one and done character, like I don't need to see Clayface in anything else until like they do a Batman movie and he shows up. Allegedly, this Clayface is supposed to be the same one that shows up in Creature Commandos. Allegedly, because like James Gunn's very vocal on social media because like people ask him questions, he'll just be like, "No, that's not true." And like someone asked him, "Is that Clayface canon? Is he the same one as this Clayface?" He goes, "Yes."
Which could be where I saw the rumor about Frank Grillo, because I mean, if it's the same Clayface as Creature Commandos, that could be the tie-in right there. Who knows?
Yeah, because according to James Gunn, the events of this movie of Clayface takes place before Superman.
Oh, okay.
Which obviously Creature Commandos, I believe, takes place before Superman. So, I don't know what to think. I mean, I trust James Gunn. I am more interested in watching other movies where he's not as hands-on with them.
Right.
Much like James Gunn, his style of humor can be a little tiresome.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, just based off, you can tell when it's a James Gunn got his hands and stuff. I mean, it's a lot of it visually looks the same. We got that with the trailer for Supergirl. Which again, I'm with you. I'm like, I am so excited for Clayface. I'm just not into, look, I might get hate for this. I'm not a big Superman fan. I thought all the Spider-Man. Whew, don't want to get those mixed up. I've never been a big. I mean, I always thought all the movies were fine, whether it was OG Christopher Reeves
Yeah.
or Henry Cavill. I mean, I thought all of them were fine. It just Superman doesn't grab me like a Batman or a Spider-Man or Daredevil.
Yeah, same.
So So when I saw the Supergirl, I'm just like, cool, awesome. This looks a lot like Guardians 3 a little bit. And I'm just like, and now we're throwing in Lobo. I'm like, okay, I love Jason Momoa. I love seeing him as Lobo. But I'm just like, I don't think I'm going to plop down theater money to see it.
I mean, I will.
Do I do it for Clayface? Fuck yes.
I mean, I'm seeing all this shit, but like when it comes to Supergirl, it's just like I'm not hyped for it. Like with everything else that's coming out, Supergirl's maybe like I wouldn't say bottom tier, but yeah, it's just I read the comic, the Woman of Tomorrow comic. I thought that was really, really good. Kind of what you were saying about Superman. I've never really been the biggest Superman fan. I love Smallville growing up. Like that was kind of my intro to Superman. Actually, I think I like Smallville more than like the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. I know it's like almost like sacrilegious, but it's just like
we might get some hate. We might get some hate on this YouTube.
Probably, but it's just like again, like people have their own generations because people are going to say there's people that are going to say Christopher Reeve was Superman, Tom Welling was their Superman, even though technically he wasn't Superman until like the last episode. And then they'll say Henry Cavill was my Superman. There's going to be a new generation of people that say David Cornsford's their new Superman, which is perfectly fine. Everybody has their own taste, but Smallville was kind of my intro to Superman.
That was your jam.
That was my jam. But yeah, for a while, like Superman just didn't really connect with me. You know, Batman was always kind of my thing because he was more of a mysterious, broken character that didn't really seem like he was too perfect. I guess that's kind of my thing. I don't like characters that seem like they're perfect.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead, keep talking.
Sorry. No, I'm just saying, I think that's the disconnect that I have, and you're probably the same with Superman. I mean, he's an alien sent to Earth, and he's pretty much perfect. And he preaches all these rights and wrongs, and the American way, and which is all good and whatnot. But as a fan, I want to find a way to connect. I mean, that's why growing up, and even still to this day, why Spider-Man is so loved and relatable, because he's a kid and he has problems. He has relationship problems. He has trying to find a job. He has to deal with the realities of, hey, can I make rent this month? I mean, that shit we all can relate to. I mean, Batman, he's broken. His parents are dead, but he's still kind of rich. I mean,
yeah, but he's still not happy. He's kind of a psychopath when you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's to take it back. I mean, Batman is a lot like Daredevil, and to take it back to Daredevil's what the psychiatrist said, like, who's wearing the mask, the vigilante or the person they're pretending to be in real life?
Yep, that was a good line. It's just with Superman, where they made him the most interesting was when they tapped into that one part of his power, which is like, you can't save everybody.
Yep.
There was that ever famous scene in the original movie where Lois dies, because he wasn't able to get there in time, and he spun around the world and like turned back time. They also did that in the Smallville show where like he did the same thing, but in turn his father ended up having a heart attack and dying. So I do like when they can tap into that thing of just like he can't save everybody all at once,
which is very realistic and relatable.
And also it's good having a character that teaches you about humility and humanity and kindness. And I think that's one thing that was always kind of missing with that character for me until I started watching My Adventures with Superman. And they tapped into that special part of his character where, that of just like, I can't save everybody at the same time. And also I'd feel like I don't fit in. And just, there's something else I had it on the tip of my tongue, and I'm probably going to remember it at like the most random time. But like, Superman, I wouldn't say I'm his biggest fan. I did like the Superman movie because same thing. It tapped into that want to be liked by everyone, to feel accepted. You know, just to teach everyone to be kind, to be polite to each other. You know, kindness is punk rock.
Yeah.
You know, that was, you know, the best line in that. Yeah, same thing. I mean, Supergirl, again, I'll watch it. If it's good, it's good. But like, I just see that and I'm like, I feel like I've seen this movie before. And Jason Momoa is born to play Lobo. Even when he was Aquaman, he was still Lobo.
Right.
You know, so, but I'm still going to watch it. But yeah, Clayface, as far as like the DC movie releases, it's top. It's at the top of the list for obvious reasons. But I think that's pretty much all we have on the docket. Was there anything you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, just because we were talking about trailers, and I know they haven't dropped it for us normies, because I know we're still waiting on the Avengers Doomsday trailer, which I've heard. I'm trying to keep away from all the rumors and what's in the trailer because I want to see it fresh. I want to see it live. But I want to get your take on them basically saying, "Oh, you're going to need to go to theaters and watch Endgame again." Like, are you excited about that, or are you more like, here's Disney getting more of my money? I think it's, part of me is like, oh, I remember watching Endgame in theater. It was a personal experience for me. But at the same time, I'm just like, this is a fucking money grab. Like they want me to go plop down theater money just because I know they're adding more scenes. This feels just like what they well, that was before the Disney takeover, but what they did with Star Wars and with the OG and adding more scenes. And so I'm just like, man, I don't know how I feel about it.
It's basically a way to kind of get people hyped up for Doomsday, and it's a money grab. And it's unfortunately, it's going to work.
Yeah, it is.
According to the Russos, Endgame or Doomsday is a direct sequel from Endgame, which kind of tells me that they're like, fuck all those other movies after Endgame. Right. You know, you remember the Marvels, you remember Quantumania, you remember the Eternals. Yeah, we don't either. We're not talking about that shit. So it's interesting that the re-release is going to have scenes that set up Doomsday. Will I pay money to go watch it? I don't want to say no, and I don't want to say yes. I would just say question mark. You know, it's like when you get an invite on Facebook, it's like, not sure yet. And then you decide at the last second. But I guess to kind of go off of that, so I'm on a Doomsday marathon.
Yep.
Watching all the MCU movies in chronological order, and then eventually I'm gonna watch the other like multiverse movies, like the X-Men movies, like the Spider-Man movies, and the shows leading into Doomsday. What was the last movie I watched? Oh, I watched Doctor Strange. And just rewatching all the movies, it kind of made me notice some things, or maybe like them more, like them less. The Incredible Hulk movie with Edward Norton, I think I like a little bit more.
I don't think it's talked about enough. I mean, it
gets a lot of hate.
I thought he played a really good Bruce Banner, and I thought the CG looked real good for a movie that came out in 2008.
Yeah, it came out the same year as Iron Man.
And so, and that Hulk was a lot more Hulk than what the Hulk has been the past few years.
Yeah. Like, Edward Norton looks like Bruce Banner from the comics and cartoons. So he plays him a lot better than Mark Ruffalo. I love Mark. I think Mark Ruffalo is a great actor, but he's not playing Bruce Banner.
He's not playing Bruce, no.
Plays him a little bit too chipper, a little bit too goofy for my taste.
Yeah, because if you know the whole, if you know Bruce Banner from the comics, the cartoon, and from the Edward Norton movie, Bruce Banner is always kind of like that chicken shit baby face where he's like, oh man, I don't want to get mad. Oh geez, lock me away.
You sound like Morty from Rick and Morty?
that was my goal.
Jeez.
Oh geez, Iron Man, I don't want to do this.
Too bad, Morty. No, but I thought he was a really good Bruce Banner, but for obvious reasons he couldn't come back. And then speaking of people that didn't come back, so I mentioned earlier that May 2nd, Iron Man turned 18, and it's still a great movie. It's still a great MCU movie. It's easily a top 5. I will say this: I love the chemistry between Downey and Terrence Howard more than I do with him and Don Cheadle.
Right.
Terrence Howard, I thought played him more as like almost like an older brother, where he looked out for Tony, like he just wanted what was best for him. Like the scene where he finds him in the desert. He's like, "How was the fun, V? Next time you run, next time you ride with me." So I'm like, okay, he was like he cared about him. He was protective.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle, again, he's a great actor, but I think he tries to play him more as like almost like a mean older brother. And I get it.
Right.
I get Tony's a dick. Like I get dealing with Tony Stark, but it's like Terrence, I thought played him better in my opinion, and he actually looked like Rhodey from the comics.
Right.
Whereas when they were recasting, it's just like, so you couldn't find somebody that vaguely looks like Terrence Howard. You cast Don Cheadle, which there's a controversy behind that. Which when they ended up recasting, I guess a former head of before it was Marvel Studios, when it was just I think Paramount and Disney, a former executive has said out loud, "Oh, they all look the same." Which, for obvious reasons, that man is no longer working
Right.
there. Yeah, I thought, and Terrence Howard just recently admitted I fucked up. Like
Yeah.
I mean, there was the whole story about money and blah blah blah, and then
Yeah.
Terrence's bad attitude, which Terrence owned up to his attitude. He told a story about how Downey was trying to like level with him and be like, "Dude, like chill, you need to chill." And Terrence told him to his face, "If you ever talk to me like that again, I'll beat the shit out of you."
Yeah.
And then they had to go on a 9-hour flight in a jet while Downey's wife was there, and then obviously not long after that he was gone.
Yeah.
To which Terrence, like looking back on that, I probably should have just kept my mouth shut.
Right. Well, I think that was during, I mean, if you want to call it the height of Terrence's career, because around that same time, I mean, he had that, was it Hustle and Flow? So I think he had one or two other bangers around that time. So I think probably he was feeling himself a little bit, saying, "Hey, I'm worth a lot more than what I'm getting paid. I'm getting killer roles left and right. He probably thought he was hot shit, and now he's looking back on it. I mean, it's no different than I think Wesley Snipes came out and said, "Yeah, by Blade 3, I was kind of asshole to everybody."
Yeah, you think? What's up with those? I mean, yeah, like when he came back at Deadpool Wolverine, he was doing the whole me and Ryan have been friends for years. It's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, just little things I noticed in just watching all the movies. I think First Avenger, Captain America: The First Avenger is actually. I used to think it was not that good, but watching it more and more, I'm like, this actually isn't bad. It's a
Well,
good
yeah.
one.
I think initially when it came out, I remember a lot of people were expecting a lot more action in that movie.
Uh-huh.
But it's definitely one of the ones that focus more on character building and actually diving more into the history of how Steve Rogers became Captain America, which I just think a lot of people were expecting a lot more
Yeah,
pop at circumstance.
Yeah, that's a good origin story. Like Winter Soldier that's where you get a Captain America movie.
Oh yeah, so good.
It still holds up. It's not even a comic book movie. It feels more like a spy espionage.
Espionage, yep.
Still holds up. And then two other movies stuck out in my mind, but for negative reasons. Like, oh, my light just turned off.
I was like,
okay,
are you getting haunted now?
I would hope not. But what was I gonna say? So I watch the fucking thing's turning off. I think the battery just went out. Anyways, whatever. So I watched it in chronological order. So it started with Captain Marvel, because that started in the 90s, and I realized this movie's boring. This is a really boring movie, and I don't hate Brie Larson the way other people do. She won an Oscar. How do you write this for her? Like this is like you wrote. Like I think a lot of it was poor dialogue,
Yeah.
but the story itself wasn't that interesting. You had a villain twist where it was just like, where he's like, "Haha, I am the villain." I'm like, we all knew that. Like,
Weren't fooling us, buddy.
like Jude Law, you're a villain. Like we knew you were the villain the whole time. Stop. And then Doctor Strange, I just something about that character I can't get into. Like I like Benedict Cumberbatch. I think he does a good job in the role, but like Benedict, like Doctor Strange and the Hulk, there's those are the two characters that work better in an ensemble
Yeah.
as opposed to a solo movie because there's only so much you can do with them. And luckily they were able to do something with Thor to make him interesting, which
Yeah.
I liked all of Thor's movies except for um but like I know I just said I like the Hulk movie, but again, there's only so much you can do with that character to make him interesting because at the end of the day, his biggest villain is himself.
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange is just like, what can you do with him to make him interesting? And
Yeah.
again, Benedict is a great actor, but it's just like the first movie leading into Multiverse of Madness. The biggest problem with that character is that he never learned anything. He never
Yeah.
learned his lesson. Like with Thor, he learned his lesson all the way from his movies into Avengers movies. And we're gonna forget Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
But with Doctor Strange, it's just like he started out as an arrogant, hot-headed fool, and at the end of 2, he still was an arrogant, hot-headed fool
Yeah.
that only did things to please. I guess he bended rules to really like for his advantage. I'm like,
For himself.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, just the Doctor Strange movie. I'm not crazy about.
Well, as we talked earlier, with how we're getting Doomsday, a lot of the bad shit is going to be erased from our minds. We're getting rid of a lot. We're going to reset.
Good. I mean, that's the way it should be. I mean, well, Secret Wars is supposed to be that hard reset.
Yep.
They're supposed to hit the reset button on, getting rid of all the bad shit, having just one world where it's just not just an MCU, but it's a world that has the X-Men, that has Fantastic Four, that has some possibly returning and staying characters. You might even get characters from other universes that stay in the MCU. You might get a properly done Venom story, a properly done Kraven the Hunter story. You might finally get a movie with Blade, whenever that does happen. Yeah, I mean that's what we hope for. So, what else? Yeah, but that's pretty much everything I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Doomsday. We're talking about Doomsday real quick. So, from what I heard, is that it's everything we want it to be and more.
Yep.
The biggest worry is Downey as Doom, and not so much that of his acting, but how's he going to play it? Is he going to play it as another Tony Stark variant, or what's he going to do? From what I heard, none of that's going to happen. He's going to be Doom.
Yeah. And I also hope too, he doesn't need to take his mask off. I mean, but from what I hear too, you do see his actual face, but
it's scarred,
heavily scarred, heavily messed up, which I'm sure they're going to tie in with the re-release of Endgame. So
maybe. He also has an accent in the movie, which makes sense because I mean, Latveria is a fake country, but have a fake country accent,
right?
And I've been hearing comparisons to Heath Ledger as the Joker.
Ooh,
in a sense where you don't see the actor's face. You don't even see their eyes. You just see the character.
Right.
Like, literally, like, because you see Downey in the mask, but you don't see Downey's eyes. I'm like, that works. Because, like, there's been 3 big performances out of Downey where you didn't see him. You saw the character. There's Chaplin.
Yep.
Obviously, Oppenheimer just recently won an Oscar for that, and Tropic Thunder.
Yes.
Which Downey got nominated for an Oscar for playing that role.
Yeah, he did.
And
I remember that.
He did a great job in that role because the whole point of that movie was to shit on Hollywood. Was to say, oh, Hollywood cares about artistry. It's like, no, you care about money. Just be honest. And, Downey to this day owns up, like, he defends that role. He's like, that role taught people what not to do.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, it seems like more white people get mad about that role than black people, because a lot of black like artists and actors I see actually love that role
Yeah.
because they get it.
You know, it's a great side note to that. You know who Downey lost to that year he was nominated for that?
Heath Ledger.
Yes. Yes, he did. That was a
Yeah.
good year.
Yeah. Like the thing about Downey, he has a certain pitch in his voice that you can kind of tell if it's him or not.
Yeah.
And when he was playing that role in Tropic Thunder and also Oppenheimer, you couldn't tell that was him because he wasn't trying to be his usual, I'm going to be charming and debonair and smartass.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a different character. And especially in Oppenheimer, he had to kind of humble himself because he was so used to being king shit for years as Iron Man that he had to take a pay cut to take this role. And it paid off because he won an Oscar. And like the whole time watching that movie, and like Oppenheimer, I thought it was a very, very good movie. I wouldn't say it was great. But like Downey was obviously the standout. You know, Cillian Murphy is Cillian Murphy, obviously. But like,
Right.
Downey to me was a standout because like I couldn't tell that was Downey. Like,
Yeah.
if you showed me this movie for the first time and you're like, who is that guy? I'm like, oh, random old white guy number 5.
Because
Like-
it was so different than what we were used to the past 10, 12 years. I mean, he wasn't Tony Stark. He was this sniveling little congressman.
Yeah, like, and if someone told me that's Robert Downey Jr., I'm like, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
Are you serious? Like, even I think there's another actor in the movie. He plays the dad on Ted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the movie. He said he was in the makeup chair, and he's like, he didn't have glasses on, but he can like hear he can hear someone sit next to him and talking to him. And you know who it was, and then when he put his glasses back on, he's like, oh, it was Robert Downey Jr. Like, holy shit. So that's when you can tell an actor is really an elite actor is when they can get lost in a role. And
Yep.
You know, I'm gonna hold off hope because when I think of Doom, I think of Doom. And let's just call a spade a spade. They brought Downey back. They brought Chris Evans back because of desperation. Because that was when the movies weren't doing that great. I know I just said they're doing great now, but that was at a time when things were not good at all. And so they brought back Downey as a money ploy.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be a lot of nostalgia when Doomsday hits. You know, whether we see one of our favorites on screen for just 5 minutes or the 2 hours. I think they said Doomsday is going to be like almost 3 hours, which, I mean, Endgame wasn't short either, but it flowed fucking quick. So 3?
I heard it's going to be longer. I think it's going to be a 3.5 from what I heard.
I am going to have to take my time sipping my soda that day.
I'm not going to eat anything before the movie. I'm going to make sure my bowels and my everything inside my body is clear before the movie starts because I do not want to miss a thing. I'm like Aerosmith. I don't want to miss a thing in this movie.
Hell yeah.
And even if I do, I'm going to wear adult diapers.
Yeah.
Take one for the team. They really should invent toilets in movie theater seats.
Oh man, don't say that. Theaters already get gross enough as is. They don't need to be cleaning up our shit.
I'm just saying.
Intended.
I'm gonna invent my own toilet movie seat theater.
Nice.
I don't know what I just said. that was a bunch of nonsense. Hey, I'm sick. Give me a break. But yeah, Doomsday is going to be huge for obvious reasons. That's a movie that there's no reason why it shouldn't make $1 billion.
Oh well.
Like that's almost just like here's $1 billion.
Yeah. Oh, I
Like
can see them easily. Let's see. What am I going to say? Opening weekend. What? That's coming out towards Christmas, so I know that.
The week before. Yeah.
Let's say first weekend worldwide. I'm gonna say, oh shit, how much? I'm gonna try to compare it. What did Mario do? I know it's 2 different genres, but Mario did like 330 worldwide or more.
Somewhere around there, yeah. It's about to crack $1 billion.
I'm gonna say first weekend 380 million worldwide for Doomsday.
I'm gonna say maybe 400-ish, because it's Avengers and there's gonna be legacy characters in the movie.
Yeah.
So people are gonna. This is gonna be one of those things that people are gonna want to show up at theaters to watch this.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't agree with is it's going head to head with Dune.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it had its own month, but whatever. But yeah, Doomsday, bring it on. But we're in May already, right? We got 7 more months. Also, Marvel is going to be returning to Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, we're going to reveal some shit that day.
More than likely, we might be just getting our first glimpse at Doomsday in July. So, but I believe that's pretty much it, unless there's something else.
Yeah. Nope, we covered a lot of shit.
Yeah, an hour 45, people. You got your money's worth.
Yes.
Or your, money's worth, whatever. But that's it, people, for today's show. I want to thank Mr. Joe.
I want to thank you, Mr. Drew. I want to thank everybody who's watching us live or back on the rerun if you catch it later. And by the time we come back and talk, first episode of, actually, it's just going to be one episode. Punisher should be out by then, so excited about that.
When is Spider Noir coming out?
Oh shit, I have to check. I think that's towards the end of May.
Hold on.
Like the 27th or something like that.
Let me pull up the internet real quick. Spider Noir. That comes out May the 27th.
Okay, yeah. So we'll be talking about that probably late May or early June. And those will drop all at once, right? Since it's Amazon.
No, Amazon, they don't do binge, they do weekly.
Okay, cool. Yes. That's what I was hoping for. All right. Well, yeah. Until next time, we'll see what we'll be talking about then.
And of course, listen to the other shows on the Experience YouTube channel. Later tonight will be the Experience. We'll be going on a little early because there's a Spurs game on tonight, so we don't want to miss that.
Oh.
So it might be a quick show. Ruben might or might not be on tonight due to personal reasons. But yeah, catch the Experience, catch Metal Drive Hoops, catch Friendly Neighborhood Marks, of course, catch this show. And you can also hear these shows through audio file for you podcast audio people out there on Spotify. So
nice.
We'll be uploading this show onto Spotify pretty soon after this. And that's about it, people.
Yeah. Leave your comments, hit the likes, hit the follow, support us. Support everything Drew does. He works his ass off to make this work. I just come on and look pretty.
And you're very pretty.
Oh, shucks.
And then, of course, Twitter X, DY Experience, Instagram, TikTok. Just look for Drew Yarn. I'm not hard to find. Joe, where can they find you?
You can find me also on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, or a stockpile of shit that people will want to sit there and bash and waste their time on. But you can find me there at Moose Breath. But yeah, we'll just catch you guys on the flip side. Thanks for hanging out.
Of course, likewise, and much love, people. And of course, shout out to all of our friends who support us, and we support them back. So anyways, people, take care.
Deuces.